What would happen to people with chronic illnesses or cancer under a new proposal to crack down on prescriptions for painkillers?
Florida Governor Rick Scott announced a plan that would allow doctors to prescribe painkillers in just 3-day allotments in hopes of fighting the opioid crisis. And News Channel 5's Michelle Casada with more on how the governor plans to try to protect those who need pain meds.
As you can imagine, the governor has gained some criticism from those who have chronic illnesses and chronic pain and need to be able to have more than a 3-day supply of prescription medication. Now, the governor said he is going to be working with insurance companies to make sure these patients do not have to pay multiple copays to get their pain medication. It may not reduce the number of heroin overdoses or synthetic drug overdoses in the state, but Governor Rick Scott's proposal to put a 3-day cap on prescription painkillers aims to reduce the number of people becoming opioid addicts.
If we can get back to some of the root causes of the issue, and an overprescription of these particular drugs is a root cause of the problem.
But some say, what happens to the people who really need pain medication? Governor Scott said those who meet strict conditions will get more than a 3-day prescription.
We'll work to try to do everything we can to make sure it doesn't cost more. But let's think about this. These are people dying. These are people losing their lives.
The proposal will also tighten up a state system that tracks which health professionals are prescribing pain medications and how often. State Attorney Dave Ehrenberg said this law would require every doctor to sign on to the system.
The problem is any attempt to require doctors to check the database has been killed in Tallahassee in the past. The Florida Medical Association has been against this. So maybe now that the governor is supportive of it, there'll be a change in attitudes in Tallahassee, but I'll believe it when I see it.
The proposal still has to make it through the state legislature. Governor Scott is also asking legislators to allot more than $50 million to next year's budget to fund substance abuse programs. Reporting from the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, Michelle Casada, WPTV News Channel 5.